Oh. Right. Good morning. Just trying to work out how to do this, as I can see nobody here, and you're on Facebook. So, morning, everybody. I'm not recording just yet. I just thought I'd say hello before I get started. The main reason for being here on my own is that I want to use the screen sharing, and I can't really see a good way to do that in another format. So I'm doing it as a webinar, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on questions on Facebook. So it's a bit of a new format, and I'm not feeling the best today, I will confess. I wasn't quite sure if I'd go ahead. I'm just feel a bit wiped out. So but I thought, let's just get on and do something, and I'm sure, you know, something will be useful, and at least I'm here and you can ask me questions. And you might, well, that's worth saying, isn't it? I'm here, I'm not in the studio. I still can't get into the studio today. It doesn't look very safe out there. There's a few cars around, but slipping and sliding up the road. I'm sort of watching them out the window, and because I didn't go out yesterday, my car's quite embedded, so and obviously it gets icier overnight, so I haven't managed to do the photographs that I wanted to do, but there's still stuff that I can show you. Let me, I think I can do that. I think I can just talk to the webcam and then just track what you're saying underneath it. Hope that works. And actually most of this is going to be screen sharing, so you won't have to look at me. I've got very sort of weepy eyes today. I think that's probably just to feel, I don't know if I'm run down or whether I'm going to hike up to the shop and get some magnesium. I think that might be something that would help me with my energy levels. I don't know how everybody else is feeling, but I guess we just have to take it as it comes. Like a bit like being snowed in, not planned for, rejig your plans and just be flexible. It's just a weird time, isn't it? So you just can't get too upset about things that don't go to plan. We've got to probably get very good at that, haven't we? So, hi, I see that Maya's on. Hello, good morning. Oh, you've got a day off? Good for you. Good for you. I hope you've got some stuff planned that you want to do. What are you getting up to? I must admit, I'm struggling with the motivation a little bit, but I think that might be the energy levels. As soon as the snow came in, I was just like looking out the window, and yeah, but Mother Nature seems to know best, and she sends us things sometimes we need them, so I'm not going to beat myself up too much, and just do what needs to be done. So I'm going to have a little look at Etsy this morning. I don't know how long I'll be on for, but I won't go sort of super slowly through it, because you can watch it back and see what I'm doing. And it's just really a little bit of a shop refresh and a few little pointers as I go through at this point. I won't be listing something from start to finish, but I can give you some pointers on some of the listings I've got there. Like I said, I hadn't managed to get into the studio to get my proper pictures for the piece I want to list, but I have got a listing up there that I can do some tweaks with. There's some shop updates. As I've said, my shop is a bit, blow the cobwebs off, it's a bit dusty. Because I've been so busy with commissions, it hasn't been necessary to keep it active, you know, in the same way, and keep it well tended, because I think that's the really key thing with Etsy. And then we've got Sam coming in, who can actually help us with the sort of clever stuff, the mechanics that gets us seen. But these things that the dogs have been very barky today, so I do hope they just behave themselves for me. Yeah, so let me see about screen sharing and go into it. Yeah, because your Gronya's not very far away from me. I went up the hill yesterday in my wellies and it was okay, but I did have my bag sort of like this for balance and a rucksack. It's pretty deep, it's about a foot deep, I think, and it's just trying to go on the sort of softer bits, not the bits that have been well trodden on. It's okay. But that hill, I've seen things skidding around up that hill. excuse me. Definitely not completely feeling on top of the world today, but we'll manage. Lots planned. You need wood filler and not braving the roads. Not today, Maya says. No, I think that's for the best, much as I don't like to admit it. And I was doing a submission for the Flip Runway Awards today, and I wanted to put some fresh pictures in of that sideboard, and I may just have to wing it. My fault for being last minute, Larry, as ever. Yeah, let us know how you go. I'll look out for you as you go past. Right, I'm going to nip into my Etsy, and it might be you're watching this on catch up, so you can always drop some questions in. I'm fairly sure this will be sort of quick and dirty, not too quick. But what we can do is I can drop in and do other sessions on this. So don't see this as, oh my God, this went too quick and she didn't go into enough depth. We'll cut. You know, it's not a one and done, is what I would say. Just get rid of this alert that's in my way. Such watery eyes today, though. Right, let's get into my webinar and do screen share. I should have cleaned my glasses before I started as well. Who can share? Yeah, no, I just want to screen share there. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So, sorry about this. I'm doing this off on the fly. There's about 1 million options for screen sharing. So, right, where are we going? There we go. Let me just I'll have to look on here now to see whether you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Hopefully, seeing my Etsy shop. Bear with me. I'm just catching up so I can see what you're saying. And yeah, that's perfect. Oh, there's 7 people on now. Good morning. Morning. Just doing a bit of an Etsy walkthrough if you just come in. Yeah, just cold there. Oh, wonderful. Have a good day painting. I would like to get in and do some stuff like that, but I suppose I have to take the opportunities to do stuff here and maybe rest a bit as well if I get the chance. So let me see. Right, this is my shop. These are my listings, as you can see. I've actually had a bit of a clear out recently because people kept just ignore the dog if you can hear him. People kept buying things that perhaps were a bit too long ago and I wasn't going to recreate. So I've had a good whittle down. You can see on the right hand side there that I've got some inactive ones. So the listings are still there. I can always pull them up if I want to. You'll also see, this is a really useful thing to help you fill your shop up, is that I've got available to commission items, which are based on previous listings. So you basically just get the listing if you sold it and relist it and just change the title. Just go into this particular one here. Because I know I can recreate this one to some extent. Obviously, there'll be variations, you know, and sometimes I'll go to people and say, oh, do you mind slightly different legs, or it's got an extra drawer or whatever, but, you know, you get the idea. And that was from the original listing that sold. I'm not sure it's sold on here. I think it's sold on Vinteria, but I can obviously recreate that, just change the title, and very simply just change it to available to commission. And I've just put a little bit in there. I've put in just sold, actually, so you can see my shop needs updating. So it should just say available to commission in there. And it's exactly the same listing. So these can work a little bit harder for you once you've sold them, if you know it's a piece that you want to recreate and could potentially recreate with some variances for vintage, or perhaps the exact same thing. You know, my utility sideboards are all the same. So I know I can redo those. And then down at the bottom, where is it down at the bottom? So I get a bit rusty. There is the processing time. So I've got my prices down the bottom there. Your processing time might need to just slightly change on your commission items. So you can say, you know, it would be 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. Just going back up to the top, because people do sometimes buy them. They don't read and they buy them. So you can just say, hey, you know, this will be 2 to 3 weeks to do, or however many weeks you need to source it and to do it in your schedule. And occasionally some people say, oh, no, I wanted it now, so you have to refund me. And it's, yeah, occasionally that happens. But it's a really good idea, just go back to my listings, to help your shop look a bit fuller and to also showcase what you can do, because people might then message you and say, I like that, but I wouldn't mind that on a slightly bigger piece of furniture or something. So show your wares in your shop, not just your listings. Why is that doing that? All right, yeah, just discard the changes. Another key thing in your shop, which I've noticed today, because I've been a little bit hands-off with it and could do with, just make sure I do check in on the comments. There's no way for you to tell me if I forget. Now, this is the problem, doing things in a different format. I am not recording, bear with me. Right, I'll have to do a slight recap. Anyway, this is my Etsy shop. For those watching on the replay, this is the listing to my Etsy shop, and you'll see that I've got some items on display up for sale, but there's a mix of live and available, such as this sideboard here, and then there's also items which it says available to commission, which have been created from previous listings. So I've just relisted it and amended it to say made available for commission. You can set the delivery sort of timescales to be a bit longer, so you've got time to create it, and then also put in, actually that's what I did edit, just available, available to commission, and then the rest of it's all the same. Yeah, so I should have published that at the time. I can go into creating a listing in more detail when I come to do that next week, hopefully. So I'll just publish that. People will buy them, you know, it happens. And then often if you know, within your messaging, just say, oh, it'll take me a little time to make it, source it, they're usually fine because they want that item. You know, you've sold them on that specific thing. And if they're not, refunding is really straightforward. So, you know, it's not a big deal, but it really does make your shop look fuller and shows off and showcases what you can do. Okay, so, and you'll see down the side here, I've got lots of items sort of inactive, so I've had a good clear out actually from here, rather than just leaving everything I ever did, because there's some things I just don't want to do anymore. And in fact, this piece here, I have recreated once, but I'm just going to, from the settings, I'm going to deactivate that because I don't want to do that again. You know, it was fun, but yeah, I don't think it really sums up where I want to go. So I'll just take that down. They see it on my website, that's fine. It's a different thing. I like to keep a full portfolio on my website. So that's in the inactive stuff now. Yeah, so if I just refresh that, that should disappear. So see this as your shop window effectively for things that you can do as well as things that you have got for sale. And most of those I can recreate. I've just recreated this one here. I need to change that as well to available to commission because obviously time's gone by and I haven't updated my shop. Bit naughty, but I've been busy and it wasn't my priority. But now that I've got pieces for sale, this is the only one that's actually available, I think. Yeah. And I've got the colourful sideboard to put on, colourful for me, the black sideboard with the rainbow sort of chevron on it is coming in here as well. So it's in my interest to get this tidied up and refreshed. Yeah, so also when I came into my shop this morning, so you just go into your, let's just go back a step. Let's just move that thing out of the way because it's sitting on top of my toolbar. So just go back to Etsy. If anybody's not created their shop yet, right? That Zoom toolbar is just in the way. You'll see the shop manager item is icon is up there once you've created your shop. So you can still shop in the normal way, but you've also got the shop manager as well. So I just look like a normal customer at the moment until I go into there. And then this brings you into sort of dashboard and shows you sort of views and your overall information. And then your listings are down the side there. Now, if I go into my shop here on the left-hand side at the bottom, it'll actually show me what people will see of my shop, like the shop front. So this is my shop. And so there's some things here I'd like to update. I think I'll update the banner. I might update my image here because all those updates cause like a little bump in the algorithm, like a little boost, because they think, oh, something's happening in that shop, we need to show it to people. So I can go through and make some updates, and I'll probably have quite a lot of updates to make. It's not my biggest selling channel, as you can see here. Most of my sales are probably on Interior, but that might be also because I haven't tended to it. I could have probably got more sales out of it if I had, but there's only so much we can do in terms of furniture. So let me, now what I noticed here is when you come into my shop, my featured item, I don't know why that's featured. I would usually have the full width. So you'd usually have 3 or 4, can't remember now, it's off the top of my head, featured across here, which means if you've got a lot of listings, you can promote things up to the top that you want to highlight. So if I go back into my, so really I want this one, the latest one up there, and maybe anything else that I'm keener to be doing than say that one, because that piece, I know finding little cabinets of that shape with just doors is a bit tricky, so I might not promote that, but it's a design that I could do again potentially. So let's go into my shop manager. Everything's sorry, everything's running today. Right, listings, and then get there. So that's just a little star here at the bottom. It's going to promote that to the top. So I'm just going to take that one off, put this one on. And it's a good idea to come in and just shuffle them about so that when people hit your shop, they go, oh, I didn't see that stuff before. As you can imagine, you know, like literally going in and changing a physical shop window, it gets people interested, and it sees, people see things that they didn't see before. Keeps them coming back for a look. So I could put that up there. Oops, no, that's wrong. I'll highlight it. And I'll put that up there because I know I've actually got one of those in stock, fairly similar to that. So it could be, actually I've got one like that in stock. Let me just check in my shop. Yeah, it's 3, I think. Is it 3? There's space for 4, isn't there? Let me just double check that. And obviously you've got your banner at the top there. I'm going to go and make a change to my banner where you can show things as well. You might have seen in other Etsy shops, that's a place where you can highlight some products. Oh, sorry. Talking and clicking at the same time is an art form. It's a bit slow. Let's just try him on as well and see. Obviously, it's good to have a bit of variety. He's quite similar to the other one, but we'll just have a little look. It's running quite slowly this morning. Oh yeah, you can get 4 across. So I might go back and change that sold title there and just say available to commission as well. But it also makes my shop look fuller because I've got a full row at the top there. Now, the shop view is quite a good place to start. If you're just setting up or you've not kind of done an awful lot to your shop. Now you can see, this is where I'm outing myself. Look, I have an announcement from Boxing Day 2019. So I'm just going to go into the edit shop option here, and it will give me options for all of those fields on the page, and you just want to get as many of them filled in as possible. So I might leave my cutting edge upcycled furniture. I still quite like that. It's the masking tape sort of reference. And then, oh, come down. You see these edit options here. So, you know, it's like our Facebook pages. It's like any profile. You've got options you can. So I'm just going to take that out. What can I say? I don't know, something like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be an announcement per se. You could just use it as a place to put some, you know, something useful that you want to highlight. But I'm just sort of demonstrating that is better to be last updated. Hopefully when I refresh that will change. But these are things, if you're a bit more organized than me, I'm Queen Scatty, that you could put something in your diary once a week just to go in and move things around, tweak your titles, change your keywords, whatever, and it would just give it that tickle that it needs. You know, like I say, I've got busy doing other things and was doing all right, so it didn't give it the love it needed. But if this is your main selling channel, that would be worth doing as a regular thing, just to keep it fresh. So these are my reviews. I can't edit those. I can reply to them, but I can't edit in that section, so I'll just whiz past it. I think updates is just like literally doing like a Facebook feed, so you can put updates in there if you want to. Now I can see I haven't started mine, but there are things in here that I could start doing. I could put some photographs a bit. Now I did have stuff in this, so I think that they've potentially, like as happens when people update platforms and templates, you sometimes lose information and you've got to redo it. That's how it happens with websites as well. I did have some stuff in here, or it got outdated and I've just deleted it for speed of and not replaced it. So here I could put some pictures of the studio or me with a piece of furniture and just bring some personality to my shop. And also there's a bit of video there, so you could do a little introduction. Hi, thanks for coming to my shop. You know, all these little things you can do initially are going to get you seen. This is going to add to your, and I'm sure Sam will talk about this in more detail. This is all search engine optimization, is that information about you, and it's building a brand and a feel. This is the bit, next one down. So these are kind of optional. I'd sort of build up to those. Get your profile picture and your main sort of statements and your banner and everything in first, as I mentioned in my presentation, because those are kind of essentials that it looks a bit empty without them. But not everybody comes in to read the profile information and the updates. I certainly do it. Don't necessarily do in Etsy shops, but I might read the little bit next to the person's profile picture. So this is the bit here I was telling you about the statement. So I certainly reckon I need to update this. So if I just go into my edit, yeah, that's just the actual, so I can change that. There, and then where's the edit for this? The bottom. That's quite wordy, isn't it? So I'll probably go through and review that. I'm a bit obsessed with geometric patterns, whatever. So, you know, you often come back to things and think, oh, I don't like the way I wrote that, so I'm just going to change it now. So, and there might be some updates in here that I need to make. Yeah, because my blog's a bit out of date, so I haven't really been pushing my blog. And then also there's a bit here that should have gone ages ago. I had a problem with my listings way back when I first started. I didn't mark them as dispatched because I didn't really think, because I wasn't, yeah, it says something about organising couriers and I was waiting to update the order, and then later I thought, well, I can't say it's dispatched now because it's already gone or what have you. And I didn't realise that if you didn't say it was dispatched, they didn't get the option to review. So I didn't end up with any reviews, and I wondered why not. And then it obviously expired. So this needs to come out because it doesn't, it's fine when you're just starting getting going and you want to sort of explain something, but I've got reviews now and that's not good. And Reloved is now defunct. So yeah, I could go through and update this, and I probably will sit and do that. So very straightforward, just typing it in. Good practice. Personally, from me, I've done a lot of web editing over my years. I used to be a content producer for websites. So is do it in something else, do it in Word and save that and then paste it into here, because you can click off something or your computer can go to sleep and you can lose things. So I tend not to edit long things in the interface. Just a little tip from somebody who's frustrated themselves many times. And then this is the little profile intro that I think is really important for the, you know, the shop ownership. Really. So what have I got in there? It's fairly, yeah, it's just a little bit about me. You could go into more detail about your likes and your interests if you wanted to, if you felt it just set you apart, if there's a reason why you work in a specific way or you're very inspired by certain things, so that people get a feel about your work. Worth putting it in there. I'm going to update that picture because that's a couple of years old as well, so I might change that to one I've got on my, I wonder if I can change it there. I think I have to go to the top and change it up there. What else? Oh yes, and then so I've got my deliveries here. Now this really needs updating because they've obviously changed something in the system and it says North America, which is quite annoying. So I need to go into here. I think this will be something to do with when they've changed all of the listings and we're doing something around free shipping. So I need to make sure that this says Europe and that I change those around. In fact, I might just edit these, change them around so the Europe one's top, or I might even put UK. This has obviously gotten a little bit, I think they're right on my listings, but this has not been maintained as it should have been. So just literally go, so I could say, I don't know, 7 to 14 days sort of thing. And then America, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, something, or 2 to 4 weeks, whatever, depending on, you know, it's just a rough estimate for that. And then I've got it set so I don't accept returns because these items are handmade and usually customized, but I think they can still open a case as it says there. So I've got that set like that. Just save that. So at least it's slightly updated, but I will have to come back to this in more detail. Oop. Am I editing my shot? Yes, I am. What was at the bottom? Was the frequently asked questions. I think it's worth going in here. I've just put some sort of information about vintage. So it would, you know, if you have the time to go in and just put in, you know, a little bit of a question and answer, you can make them up. If it's something you want to tell people, make up a question, you know, and say, you know, how do your deliveries work, and you know, how long does it take you to do a piece of furniture, and that sort of thing. So it's just more information in there is good. So if I go to the top, I think I can edit my profile picture up here. So I like to have a photo library with them all stashed in. I was going to put the one on that I had in. Let's just do that one for now. I don't think it's any better, but excuse me. Oh, find my cursor. Just save that. And then let's just have a quick look in Facebook, see how everybody is. Is there anything you're asking? No, it might just be you've come and said hello and you're going to watch it back. So I'm going to keep going anyway. So we've got a little bit of a session in the bag for you to come back to maybe later with a glass of wine or a cup of tea. If you do have any questions as I'm going through, just shout though. I'm just giving this a little bit of an overview. Yeah, and my profile text was down there, wasn't it? But yeah, there. So I can just change that there. Oh, look, you can do the image there as well. So there's 2 places you can do that. So let's just give you a quick insight into doing a banner for anybody who was maybe a bit baffled by what I was saying or just wants to get cracking on personalizing there. As you can see, before I dive into there, you've also got your shop icon, your logo there. It's fine if you want to put something else there. You could put a piece of furniture there or something if you don't have a logo for now. But I wouldn't necessarily put a picture of you as well. Put something to do with the actual business. So you can see the profile, the banner at the top is here. Very, very narrow, which is unusual compared to Facebook, for example. So I can just come into here and edit it and upload something new. So the great thing about Canva, the tool that I suggested to, let's get rid of that, to create your covers for Facebook and other, like it's got dimensions for sort of standard posts and things like that. It's a really useful tool, and there's a free version. So I'd say definitely get it. And it's pretty user friendly. Let's flip to it now to make sure. Oh, hi Jennifer. Hi Louise. I didn't see that you popped up as well. I'm just checking to make sure. It's funny, I can see some of the comments there, but not all of them. Anyway, okay, so Canva. This is Canva. Like anything, you have to kind of find out where they've put things. Usually your profile bit's in the top corner and then the information down the left-hand side. So if I click into all my designs, you will see like things that I've been working on, and you click into them and it gives you the actual interface to kind of go and drag things on. This is a challenge I've been working on, and you've got all your sort of different types of content down the side, so you can insert pictures and text and everything like that. So it's really nice and straightforward. It's got loads of templates, which is really handy. So you can take a template from something and just customize it. So you don't have to be a graphic designer, which is why people love it. But what I'm going to do is just come back out of there, and I will do, so you can do create a design up here and go and look for a specific type of content, and it will give you some templates and ideas. Now I can't see Etsy, so I might have to search for it. No, I don't see it, so I'm going to just put in Etsy. Now I did actually do a little bit of scoping out earlier on. I found out it was called a shop cover, not a banner, but I'm old school web girl, so that's why I call them banners. So I just pull that up. Okay. So I've got a whole lot of examples here. You can start with a blank one, or I can take one in. So I'm just going to have a little look through. I've got quite a lot of images on mine, and these can all be edited, so you can add more images, and these are all pretty just one image and a load of text. But I quite like this one here that's got 2 images. That's quite smart. You don't have to get too bogged down with the style of it as well, because you can see this isn't very me, but I can start to play with that, and I can use it as a frame, basically. So I can get rid of some of this stuff just by clicking on it. I might actually just change that a bit. That's a little bit of text. So I'll come up here. I don't use Cyrillic, or not Cyrillic, script. I don't use fonts with that look like handwriting, and I don't use serif fonts, which, like, you know, the old-fashioned style. I always use sans serif. So let's just change that to, let's just do something like that. Anyway, I'd probably spend a good few hours fiddling around with it to try to decide, because that's what I do. I'll just change that down a bit. Oh, I don't need candles, do I? Okay. And then you get a little crosshair when you hover over it, which will allow you to drag things around. So if you've edited in any interface before, you'll know these sort of tools. It's just getting familiar with it. And, you know, there's a little bit of swearing with these things just to get familiar with it. And also, like, I'm trying to get hold of the crosshairs now. It's just clicking on the right section. You've got a bit of text overlaying a background here. So I'm just trying to get hold of it, make it a little bit bigger. Where's the text gone? There it is. So I can just click in there and do example. Get rid of these bits. These are all design elements. So they're great if they fit your brand, but obviously don't fit mine. And then what I'll do is I'll come to the uploads over here, and I can go and find something from my computer and upload it. But I'll just use what I've got for speed in this one. Let's see, now I'm looking for my transparent background logo. That one will do. Just resize it. So all familiar tools, you know, from Word and PowerPoint, really just grabbing hold of the handles and leave them around. Let's do that. Let's do some, go into the shapes. This is the elements. So you get lots of different things that you can drag on. Let's do, just for a bit of fun, let's just do some black stars, because I feel like it. And then I'll just click on these and replace them with some more of my images. Let's do, now thinking about what I've got in my shop, I might sort of mix it up a bit. So I might do something that I haven't got for sale. Now if I just drag that in, it should go in. There you go. It's got a logo on it, that one, which is a bit unfortunate, but anyway, you get the idea. And now I want to mix it up a bit, so I'll do something that's a bit of a different style, like that. And then, I don't know if I want that sideboard, because this is actually going to go up. I'm probably not going to take it down right now. Anyway, that'll do. So then what I'll do is I'll go to the download option, and you can copy these and create more of them inside the same sort of canvas, just duplicate them there. So you could do different versions, or you can copy one you did last month and just slightly tweak it so you've still got the sort of, I like to quite keep the history of the ones I've done before if I need some inspiration. So I'm just going to change it to a JPEG because it needs to be small enough for a web file. A lot of these websites will not let you upload things. you probably, you may have come across that. Things like eBay, you try to add a picture to a listing and they don't like you to put really heavy files up. So make sure it's a JPEG. And then, oh, it's got a download option because I've only got one file. Ordinarily here, you'll get an option to choose which one of the files. So sometimes you'll have quite a lot of editions. You've got to select just to download that one. But I've only got one, so that's easy. I'll see you later, Louise. I think you've already probably gone. Right, so that's downloaded. So I've downloaded to my downloads folder in my computer. So I can go back to Etsy now and just, oh, hang on. I've lost the upload thing. Okay, let's just figure out how to get out of here because it seemed to be, let's just refresh the page. I think the pop-up came up to upload and I've now lost it. So that's probably what's happened there. Start again, edit. Oh dear, where is it? No. Is it here? Where is it? Oh, look, different banners. They've got mini banners. See, they're always changing their templates, these with websites. Just keep you on your toes. I don't know how to get out of this now. That's fun, isn't it? So let's just go into my listings. And I'm in my listings, aren't I? Just trying to change the page up so that I can get back out of this. Get back into it. Get the pop-up up here. So let's go back into my shop. Edit shop. Sorry, brain, catch up with everything else. Yes, I know I'm empty my banner. Well, where's the upload option? Let's just try. Yeah. Okay, I feel like I'm being stupid now. This is but befuddling me. I need to be able to choose an image. If anybody can see what I'm missing, it's one of those things where you're just in the thick of something in your brain either doesn't recognize it or I'm missing that pop-up, which is annoying. Let's just see if I can go through here. Right, okay, there we go. Like I say, keeps on your toes. Instagram's the worst for it. It's just like continually changing the interface, and Facebook does it too. Right, downloads. That looks weird. Oh, okay, that's fine. Just going to select that and add it in. The great thing about that is you don't have to worry about the sizing of it. Oh, or do you? Right, let's just. There you go. I think that's probably just the wrong size. I had this sort of slender one. Faffy. That's better. Okay, yeah. A bit more space to play with there. Now, what I could also do if I wanted to was add a little bit more information in this banner about what I do. So I was actually going to put, but just for speed, I didn't do it, another little line beneath saying, you know, upcycling products and workshops and etc. So that, you know, people think, oh, I'll go to donutnorth.com for those other things if they're interested. So you can use this a bit of real estate to talk about yourself. Let's just but certainly putting some of your favorite, proudest pieces up there is a good idea. Like I say, my first ever one was just a picture of geometric fairy lights. So, you know, just as long as you've got something up there, that's the main thing. It looks like you've created the shop then. The other thing I was just going to quickly show you, I will do a full listing with you next week, which will lead us nicely into the training the following week, is this particular one here. You can see I didn't actually do this listing, and I needed to perhaps come and just check it. It's not very scroll stopping, as we call it, because this is going to appear in search results. But a lot of the picture is, I mean, the pattern is quite visually interesting, so that's something. But it's not sort of centered. So I'm just going to click into it, and I'll just show you what I mean, because I mentioned this in my presentation. Now, it's all right in the picture. I am very aware this picture's ever so slightly wonky. I think it's distorted a bit because we've actually leveled it this way, but it's not level here, and it annoys me every time I see it. I'm like, it's wonky. I don't know if it's just in the photograph itself that it's slightly distorted. Now, see, it's all right in those pictures. Let's go into my listing, because I've actually gone into the item. And also there is a little edit there above where I was. I forget that. There's a little edit at the top of the actual listing if you're the shop owner. And what you'll see, I noticed this morning, as well as that piece being promoted that wasn't really something I wanted to have top, is that I've only got 5 pictures. So I would strongly suggest that I need to fill up all of these. And actually, when I went to have a look this morning, there are more pictures, so I don't know why they're not in there. So there's a picture here with the cupboard door open and the drawers open. Is that just with the doors open and the drawers open? So I'll add that in. Oh, I've lost my live, have I? Have I lost you? Let me just double check. Yep, I'm still there. Yeah, that picture's not there for some reason. Ah, right, okay, this is what's happened to it. Okay, so what I need to go and do is resize that and check. In this instance, it's obviously been edited down too small, so I need to go and sort that out. But what you can do is take subsets of the pictures, so sort of zoom in. Thanks, Sherry. It's just vanished off my screen and it went back to my Facebook feed. So you could actually zoom in and just do a really close-up of something, but fill in all the slots, because it really helps promote your piece. This one here, though, this looks fine normally, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one with a border. So I'll just go into Photoshop, or you could probably do this if you don't have Photoshop or don't want to spend on Photoshop. That's me trying to edit the pictures that I took very quickly in the studio of that sideboard, and they're not right. I want to go back and do it again, but I can't get there. So just the colours are a bit dusty and a bit off, but with some editing it could help. I find matte finish isn't really great to take photographs of, has to be said. So I'm going to go to this picture here. You could do this in PowerPoint, I think, as well. If you wanted to, you could put it on top of a box and fill that in, and then crop it out, or do a screen grab or something. So I'm just going to do canvas size, and this isn't exact science, but I'm just going to change it up. It isn't an exact science, actually. I don't actually know what the dimensions should be. What I tend to do is, maybe I've done that the wrong way around, actually. Let's just do that, actually. Yeah. Okay, it's very tight crop on this. I wouldn't suggest. Let's just go in, zoom in, zoom in. Yeah, I have actually messed up that picture doing that. So what I'll do is I'll just do a blank. You could probably do this in Canva, actually, thinking about it. This is me doing things how I normally do them. But you could create a box and... Okay. Computer problems. I have to do it this way because my computer is being... It's not letting me create anything new at the minute. So let's just do get that black, and then what I'll do is a bit of a workaround. Come on, why are you not opening? That's being strange. Right, okay, well, what I'll do for the benefit of this is I'll just show you it in another one. But what you need to do is add a really thick black border. Let's see if I can find another one that I've done in the past. Possibly not, possibly not. I thought it'd be quite an easy thing to show you on the fly, so I hadn't really planned that one through very well. And it's proving a bit tricky because my computer's not playing ball. I have a pre-prepared picture and that one's not coming out. I don't know why it's not opening things. Let's go and do it in Canva. I think my computer's had enough. This isn't working anyway. I think so. I'll just have to abandon that one. But what I would do is, oh, I'm over here. That's why I'm in the wrong Etsy. Is I would upload that into there. Have like a really thick black border, and then when it shows in the thumbnail, it will actually center. This is the thumbnail here. So you can zoom in and out, but you can't zoom further out because there's no picture around that. You know, that's obviously the image is right to the sides. So by having that border, you'll suddenly center the image when you upload it, and then you put it as your primary. Make sure it's adjusted nicely, so you'll actually have the black border will be hidden off the ends of it, so you'll be able to adjust it and zoom it in so that it's nice and centered. Get the legs in and the top of the picture. And then what I also do then is come and add the original photo into the carousel, so you've got it there as well. So that takes up another slot, which is quite good. So get all of those in there. Another thing we've been talking about recently with other people, because of that thing where people buy your listings that are commission pieces, you could use one of these images to put in information about this commission process. You could say this item is available for commission. I've got some in stock, or you could say something there about deliveries. You could put like literally like a graphic with text on it to make sure people read the information. You could just put a graphic in there with your logo on at the end. Just to sort of fill up that session. So that's all the pictures there. Those are they've just gone over onto a second row basically. So we want to fill up all 10. I won't save that. Yeah, I think, again, if my computer wasn't being a bit of a pain, I would suggest that Canva would be a place to do that. What I was trying to do was just to get, if I just take this, for example, and then if I go into it and just click the background and make it black. There's always an easy way to do stuff when you have this brain space to think about it. It's a very useful tool, and the fact that it's free. There is a pro version; they will push it at you, but I don't use it, and I don't think you need to get it just yet. There might be reasons you want to do it. You can put branding kits together in there, so you can just create everything quite easily. So I might come on to having it, but I don't at the moment. Upload from device. If I bring that picture in, I could probably do it now. I've stopped and thought a second. The great thing about having that list of stuff there is it really helps when it comes to doing other things. Posts later, as you see, done posts with people's pieces of furniture as well, testimonial posts and that sort of thing. So that's actually not, oh, hello. Let's get rid of that. And I'm just going to get rid of that writing as well. There's also something I spotted in here. I didn't need it to do that. I just wanted to stay. No, don't do that, please. This is why using a post might be better with just a straightforward design. Just doing a text box. I don't want it to go full. There we go. Just going to bring that forward. Oh no. Well, I spoke too soon. This isn't working. Yeah, there you go. It's on a transparency. Phew. Clicking around does help sometimes. There's the options here to make something faded, so it can be in the background. You can put some text over the top of it. And then the positioning, I thought it might be behind the thing that I put it on top of, so you can bring things forward and backwards like you can in PowerPoint. But yeah, so I'm just going to download that quickly and then I'll get that in. It might need to be a bit thicker actually, and it needs to be centered as well. Download JPEG. And then, hi Michelle, how are you doing? Have you got to know where you are as well? Okay, it's going to, nope, Etsy. Let's fix this up while I'm in here. Go to edit. And then what I'd say is, that's been up there. That could have sold. The listing wasn't perfect. It's fine. I'm not sort of ruffled about it. It's like, obviously things can be improved, but I think it's done is better than perfect. So, as I said, that's a little bit wonky to my eye, but, and I might twiddle with it at some point, but, in the grand scheme of things, at least it's up and it's listed and people have a chance to see it. Okay, so that's, have they changed something with their listings? Because these pictures, I'm sure, were working fine before. So that's where I probably would take it to Photoshop and change the sizing. I don't think you can do that here. If anybody knows, if you can. That's where I don't use this that much. So that needs to be obviously a specific set of pixels, and I'll do that in Photoshop, but if there may be the option in there. But you get the idea anyway. You can see that's got that border. That's going to help my thumbnail. It's going to help my search results and how I look in the search results rather than this sort of floating thing. Hi, Dorita. I'm glad you're in. Yeah, so that's some of a quick sort of run through some of the features around your shop, things that you need to get filled in and updated, and a quick view of Canva and how good that can be to help you do that. What am I doing? It's not letting me out of there. I don't think there's anything else I can show you. Yeah, what I am going to start to look at, and I think I'll come on to this when we look at a listing next week, when I've got my pictures ready to go, because we've sort of touched a bit on pictures, and there's probably enough there for you to, if you are wanting to get on with your shop. That's why I didn't want to bail on you today, despite feeling a bit yucky, was you could be starting to do some of these bits, and then we can get onto a listing next week, or you can start to put a listing together and then obviously refine it. Like I say, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's better to have something up and listed that people can see. What I'll probably come on to is let's have a little look at deliveries and stuff like that, because I'm thinking I might try and put a few free deliveries on mine and change the prices to absorb that, because it can be quite apparently that helps again get us boosted. So I think I might have a little look at that. Apparently people prefer to pay a higher price than having to pay a high price for delivery, physically seeing it as a separate cost. Regular Photoshop, yes, I use Photoshop, this one, which is the online version in the cloud. So you can see it's got this sort of dashboard thing with all your images, but then the rest of it just looks normal when you go in. So I need to go and look at these pictures and see why it's not letting me upload them. I don't know if they've changed their specifications, but I've not had that issue before. And I might twiddle with that while I'm at it. But I can come in here and just change the image size. So I could, oh, look at that, it's only 96 pixels. So I could change the pixels here and make sure it's like 2000. But what I probably would need to do is to go back to the original images. So I just save that. And good practice also to, while I'm at it, save your file names as, so I should save this with some description in the title. And I don't do it very often, and it's actually, you can see I'm starting to do it up here, is to put dashes between your words so that it helps with search. And I bet you all the stuff in my Etsy shop doesn't have this. It just has, you know, like either code numbers from the photo when it was taken, or just these are copies of template names from Etsy, Canva. And that doesn't help because you could get picked up from Google search from an image that you've got in Etsy if you are sort of rigid about making sure that you, so I could have, I don't know if chevron is, so it could be mid-century, vintage, upcycled, cycled. I could put, it's that boring. And you can imagine when I was doing all the paints for Fusion stuff, every single one has to be Fusion mineral paint, Done Up North, colours, you know, you have to be quite descriptive because this is another way of helping the algorithm find you. That looks so wonky to me. Right, I'll do that while I'm here now, and then I'll buzz off if there's not any questions about any of that. And it might be something just to replay when you come to do it. Edit. I can actually just upload a new picture and move them around. That title probably needs changing as well. It looks very cluttered. So just drag that over. And then when I adjust the thumbnail, I get a bit more of a, ooh, see, I thought that it was perhaps not quite the right dimension, so I might actually redo that, make the top bit thicker again, but you can still see that I've got the legs in, which is good, and the top of the picture, so it's not terrible. And knowing me, I'll probably move on to do something else, and that will do for now. So if you go in the shop, you should see that looks better. Oh, did I? Thanks, Carrie, pointing out that I made a mistake with the USA times. Oh, I'm not that quick. Yeah, that definitely needs a bit more attention, to be honest, because I don't ship to the US, really. Okay, it's not actually changed anything, so I might have to go back to that and make that even thicker to help bring it in. It's not really done what I wanted it to do there. Yeah, so a little bit of playing to do there, but you get the idea in order to get that centralized. Well, I'm glad you're paying attention anyway. That was in my shop, so edit shop. I've only got one thing for sale, so hopefully that wouldn't cause me too much trouble. Let's see. And I really do need to go and change that, so I could probably get rid of that. Ooh. I'm just doing my work now that you're watching me do it. Actually, this isn't really what I should be doing. Yeah, so if you've got any questions when you come to do this, of course, you know, this, I say it's not one and done. This is a evolving thing. How do I get into there? Edit that. Oh, it's put that above, which is quite nice, isn't it? Thank you for pointing that out, just in case there's any oops moments. I might take some of my policies from my website and update this now, actually, because I've neglected it somewhat. How do I save that? There we go. Okay, if there's nothing I want to shout out about today, I will love you and leave you. Wish you a nice weekend. But feel free, if you're watching this on replay, to post any questions alongside the recording as you're watching it. And like I say, we'll probably do a session each week, the way that things are looking, get you up and running. And if you have any issues, just jump on, either do a quick screen share yourself or take some images, just ask, and I'll be happy to help. All right, everyone, I'm going to go off and do some more photo editing. Maybe restart my computer first, though. All right, take care, everyone. I will see you soon. Bye for now.